Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft, and we are flying over to a partially loaded loglands. There it goes. My friends, today you're going to see some serious progress down here in loglands, but I'm not going to dwell on the specifics. We're just going to drop in here and talk about what we're doing today, because at some point I will need to make like a tour video of everything crazy that is in this place. For today though, we're going to focus on this corner over here, because I have been steadily weaving my way around this area, finishing all the little loose ends, tidying everything up. But I want to build something over here that I don't have the materials for. So I want to build a tower that will be the home for our villagers and bees over here at the wheat farm. And the material I want to construct it out of is mangrove wood. I don't even know entirely what it's going to look like. I just know I want to keep introducing more wood types around here because I've been using the same ones a lot. But as you may know, the concept of loglands is that we design all these farms together, so they're unique, somewhat original, and I wanted to do that with mangrove wood. The only issue is me. I didn't really have much luck trying to figure this out on my own. So I came over here to Corralis's Season 9 Hermitcraft base, which is amazing and very inspiring. But the reason that I'm here is because Corralis had a mangrove wood farm. So I wanted to check this thing out in action and just get a bit of an idea of what sort of direction we should be going in. And unfortunately, the more of this I started to build, the more I kept borrowing from Corralis's design to solve some problems, like all of this redstone down here. This pushes up the mud blocks because sometimes these roots generate with water sources directly below, which can be a problem. And so one by one, I'm solving these problems, but I'm basically doing it the same way as the farm Corralis had. And then when it came to the TNT duping, there was a lot of work to be done here to time the explosions correctly. But I came across something that I thought was quite interesting. This idea of running the TNT through powdered snow. So you saw that first blast went quite low down. The second one will be higher up because then it goes through 2 blocks of powdered snow. But the positioning of these are just a little too far apart. So after this, I started to think about using a piston extender just to push through one axis and make a much simpler type of farm. And I happen to have done a little something recently, this double piston extender right here, which I planned on doubling up for a dark oak farm design. So we can push these blocks out and then we can pull them back in again, and they will clear the space where we grow our saplings. But I ran into some issues before I doubled up the redstone on the opposite side. The main thing is that I realized this works, but I need to get rid of the leaves on top to get more saplings back. So all those farms that we've built so far this season, they were like the easier ones to do. And now I really want to do dark oak because that'll also double up for the pale oak, right? But I don't really want to use someone else's design. So unless I come up with like an idea, which has immediately reminded me of one I wanted to try. Wait, aren't these guys supposed to break leaf blocks? Isn't that a thing? Well, there goes that idea, I guess. Once again, I've been completely sidetracked. I was trying to say that unless I find a solution of my own, I'm not really too keen on building someone else's design. So over here, I hooked up my double piston extender, but I couldn't get mangrove trees to grow close enough to this thing. I tried it in all sorts of different positions. We've got a dispenser down here with the bone meal, but I just cannot get this set up to work. It'll just keep bone mealing that propagule forever. So in essence, I spent a really long time working on this farm and just getting nowhere with it. But have no fear, my friends, for redstone extraordinaire, Skizzleman is on the server, and he has a mangrove farm that he was kind enough to give me a tour of so I could get an idea of how to automate this wood that we want to gather.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, hi, there you are.
How are you, man?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Yourself?
All right, so you're streaming right now?
I am indeed, yeah. No effing and jeffing,
Hello.
man. I know you got a filthy mouth.
What are you talking about, man? I'm also streaming. So we're good. All right, you ready? You want to see it, do you?
Yes.
Let me just show you. Follow me.
Okay.
Let's go. Come with me.
I'm behind you.
God, I don't want him to see my portal.
What's wrong with your
We gotta
portal?
go
Is it shambolic?
He rips on my portal all the time, dude.
Come on. It can't be that bad.
Yeah. I wonder if you can find
this is cool. Oh, right. I've got to try and find it.
Yeah.
Well, if I have my sounds turned up, is it like in this room? Have you just led me to the wrong place? It's like somewhere else.
No.
It's so I get to it from this room.
Correct.
That Jeb sheep was blocking this corner, I tell you. This dude hasn't gone through no portal. Oh, I found it. I mean, yeah, okay, that's not... You can do better than that.
It's so bad. I gotta do something. All right.
Wow, that is something. Okay. Is this some Skizzstone right here? Is that what we're calling it?
It's very much, yes, redstone. This is Skizzstone. All right, so this guy over here, this is just the bone meal. This doesn't even feed it because it can't produce fast enough. This is just when I AFK. It's just so I get plenty of bone meal. And look at my redstone. This is true Skizzstone over here, dude.
I mean, if it works, it works.
It works. It does work. And then over here, this is where I do all my propagule. It's just in this little. So when I flip that lever, when there's bone meal in it, that's where I get my propagule. Okay, let's show you the actual mangrove farm. So right up here, and I don't think I have any bone meal. I'm completely out of bone meal, so I can't even demo it. But when I click this lever right here, what ends up happening is 3 different things turns on. So when I actually have, so come around the back here. So I gotta clean out these leaves. But anyway, it's a mess, I know.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, it's also a vine farm. If you got some shears. It's also a vine farm if you got some shears, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Look at it that way.
If I had the bone meal, I would load up these 2 double chests with bone meal. And
you need bone meal then? I can hook you up. Do you have an ender chest around here?
Yes,
you do.
Here, yeah. Look at me,
Dang
all
it.
prepared.
I left my ender chest and boxes somewhere else, and that has all my bone meal in. Typical. I mean, I got this. That might grow a tree. I don't know. Don't know how much it uses.
Yeah, this might. All right. So, when I flip this lever on, I'm not gonna do it now, but 3 things end up happening. When I flip it on, it pushes this. It basically turns on the bone meal. I don't even talk about the redstone, but it turns on the bone meal by pushing this observer into an observer, right?
Yeah, it makes a clock.
Yeah. And the clicking you're hearing is something completely different. But it turns on the bone meal, and what that's going to do is it's just going to keep bone mealing this block right here where I put this propagule. Okay,
I see it.
The bone meal, and it just keeps tick, 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 and then it finally hits. Now, once it hits, then it's going to fill in that void of mangrove logs up here. There's no sensor. There's just only pistons that are on a timer. And those pistons are just going to push the whole thing over. Yeah, go ahead and use free cam and come over to this wall of wood right here. You'll see that it pushes it over, and then eventually it completes a circuit which triggers these 2 piston towers, and that pushes it at a 90-degree angle out towards the explosion, right? And then the way this works here is once I flick that lever, it basically, so right now the default is that it's locking this timer. But once I do that lever, it turns it off and this timer starts going again. And once this redstone timer is going, then every so often it'll come over and it'll trigger that TNT. And what's going to happen is that TNT, in fact, let's see how much X, trust me, stand right here. Go ahead. Stand right here. I'm gonna simulate.
This thing's been tested plenty, hasn't it?
Yeah. Here, we'll stand here together. We'll stand here right together.
Okay. God.
Okay.
This could go so wrong.
It could, and that's just.
I wish I had my
funny.
shield.
Look,
I'm looking at it. Come on. Oh, there we go. Trust the redstone.
Right? Yeah. So the timer is. It basically just works out. It's just on a timer. It doesn't do any sensing. It's just there's a timer, and it seems to work out right nice. That as soon as that wood reaches it, then we're in business.
You run the farm and let the TNT timer independent of whatever's happening over there.
That's correct.
Interesting. Okay, that's the way to do it, dude. I'm thinking I can design a farm now because I was sort of trying to do this earlier today, except. I had my pistons down at this level here. Like I had them 1 block above where the propagule goes. The beginning of the actual logs is always some blocks higher than that. Is there like a certain amount of blocks that it'll always be higher than? 4.
I think it's 4. Maybe it's even more. In fact, if you free cam in here, you'll see.
It looks like it's about 6 blocks.
Yeah, I think it's 6. It's been a while since I built this, but I think it's 6 blocks, like you said.
Does the stripped log pillar do anything of significance?
Yeah, that is. Why did I do that? There is a reason I did that. I think there is a reason I did that, and I can't quite remember what it is. I don't think it actually has a real function. I think I just did that maybe for aesthetics. I built it so long ago. So now I'm going to do is I'm going to put Propagool in here, and I'm going to start the process. I'm going to F3T, so it just keeps on planting.
Oh, I know the
and
trick.
Not to mention, yeah, and then another thing that this switch does is it spits up Propagool into my pocket from this dropper as well, right? So as I run out, so I'm going to go flick the lever. Here we go. Now F3T. This is what I mean here. You saw it move just now, and now in a little bit you'll see TNT come down, and you'll see how much of it breaks apart.
Woo!
Right.
That's cool.
Into the basin and collection. So
you also get a little bit of roots with the way it's laid out. Was that intentional?
No, that's not intentional. That's something to where I was like, I wonder if I was a block off, and I'm like, I'm getting roots, and I was gonna fix it, and I'm like, nah, that's okay. I'll just turn it into bone meal anyways.
Yeah, you can, or if you want them for building. Dude, this giving me some serious ideas though.
I love it.
And
I'm giving X ideas. Is it getting cold in hell right now? Like, what is happening? This is amazing. This is a very good moment for me.
Right. Well, thank you so much for showing me this. It's answered some questions. I think I'm gonna go build a mangrove farm.
My pleasure, man. That was fun. To get home, just the portal, going through the portal. And
I remember the way.
Directly north. Yeah.
Turns out the way home was actually south. No big issue, though. No big issue. I hadn't flown too far before Skiz corrected me. And look, we're back here, safe and sound, and we're in the corner where I want to build the mangrove tower. So it would be fitting if we had a space in this area, but we are actually running out of space in Lockland. So I've decided that we're going to put it out of sight back here. And here's a fun fact. The amount of propagules that I own is 1. Exactly 1. So we'll need to farm some more, obviously. And thank goodness, there's one right here. We can also just, bone meal the leaves directly to get more. I remember. It's a reminder that we're going to need a supplementary farm as well to provide us with lots of these propagules. This farm is absolutely going to chew through bone meal, I know it. Oh, and good news, a tree actually grew in this area, so we can build this farm in a confined space, it would seem. One of the first things I want to do is hook up our dispenser and do this a little different from how Skiz did it. I don't know if height will be an issue, but I think it makes sense to just get our bone meal supply in from back here, out of the way of the tree. So when it comes to powering this thing, we're going to power the block below the dispenser to not directly power the dispenser, which would lock the hopper behind it, which is going to feed in the bone meal. So that means that the bone meal flows in faster. Now the player is going to stand here, so we could use a pressure plate to detect them being here. And with a little bit of redstone, we can then have that activate the clock. So when I step off of this thing, it's going to deactivate the clock, step back on, and the dispenser's going to start doing its thing. So as we add little components here and there, I'm going to keep, growing a tree just to make sure this whole thing still works. Oh, that was nice and easy. Now we're going to build up the stripped wood here, which I think needs to go up by about 6 blocks, and then a total of 4 pistons after it. Now, what I've noticed is there's actually a log at this level here. Maybe the one below as well? No. So we might experiment with adding an extra piston at some point. So we continue to test as we go. Just going to add a bit of redstone and a button there. All right, grab a propagule and go to grow another tree. That took up quite a bit of bone meal, and it created one of these here, which is not supposed to do, because that makes it difficult to AFK farm. That's quite concerning. I tell you what, Skiz also had cobblestone blocks behind these, which might be an important part of suppressing different tree growth types. So let's try that once more. Okay, that time it grew, and then what we would want to happen is for this to get powered and push out any blocks that have grown. And a very convenient place to have this would be right here. I'm talking about an observer. Now, the first time it's going to detect us putting down a propagule, which probably isn't going to be an issue. These pistons would only push out for a brief moment, which might interrupt a couple pieces of bone meal, and then it would just continue, but it would also detect the disappearing of this. So you get 1 pulse at the beginning. In fact, we're getting lots of pulses because of the bone meal. Let's just see that one more time. I didn't expect that. It's kind of not what we want. These tweaks and changes that I'm making are so that the farm is a little less dependent on clocks. And so we want to detect when a tree will grow, but I don't think that's actually possible. So I set up this little experiment right here, and I found out that this thing pulses kind of irregularly, so it's not particularly useful. But what we can do is detect when this thing is in use. So when we're no longer using the farm, you can see that this thing here is going to cool down. And when it does that, the redstone torch turns on and it turns off this clock. So if I go back around here and put that in, we're now using the farm and this clock is active. So we're still using a clock to power the pistons. That's what this little bit of circuitry will do. Now, every so often, it's just going to push them out. And if a tree has grown, then it will push across those blocks. So getting back onto the Hermitcraft server, we are jumping ahead. I have made, well, pretty much all of the progress when it comes to this farm. First of all, let's have a look down here. You can see this is the circuit. We're using the piston here to send a pulse back to the pistons that push across. Now, over here, I've hooked up a blast chamber. And up the top here, we've got a familiar sight. This is our spam-proof TNT duper. The idea here is that it has like a T flip-flop. So if ever this thing grows 2 trees quickly, the logs will get pushed through, but this thing can't be activated twice because this block is moved out of the way. So the redstone that updates it simply comes from down below. You can see we've got redstone heading up. And here we've got the pistons that push the logs across. So we have an observer to detect that. And when it does, it sends a signal up to the TNT duper and downwards as well. Before we head down there though, let's just use the free cam to see the blast chamber. Right, so the logs will get blown up, they'll go into this water stream and down into a storage area. So back to the signal that we create every time we grow a tree, right, that comes downwards as well to this little contraption that we had last season that grows propagules. When it's powered, it will simply grow 1 propagule all the way. And it gets harvested, it goes into this hopper across to a dispenser, and the dispenser is actually empty. It's going to automatically eject it. So let's do that again. Around the back here, we've got a comparator that detects when an item arrives, and then it powers the dispenser. So every time 1 tree is grown, we are given 1 more propagule. So we can stand here holding down right click, and then each time something is grown, we get another one back into the inventory. I just realized that's technically not true. It's each time this clock at the back here activates and successfully pushes something across. So if we grow 2 in quick succession, it is maybe possible for us to slowly run out of propagules. But the idea is that you'd start with a stack in your hand anyway. And there is another quirk here. You can see the piston at the back did not get activated. When this thing isn't activated by the button, it will sometimes do that. Let's go ahead and power this pulse extender from here. And there you go. This time it doesn't get activated. And it should do because it's when this one pulls backwards, it powers this block, and that has redstone behind it that goes into the piston. It is a really peculiar quirk, and I need to fix it in order for this thing to be reliable. For now, though, I do actually have a solution, and that is to just simply add in an extra observer here, which does the same thing this one is supposed to do. But otherwise, we've got all the pieces here together, and it isn't a crazy amount of redstone. It's all quite efficient. And the really interesting thing is that it doesn't feel like it uses a lot of bone meal to grow each tree. And as I say that out loud, I realize that maybe we should speed up this a little bit too. So the farm is now finished. I've made tons of final tweaks and adjustments that I can't wait to show you. But right now, I've just been doing a little bit of building with the mangrove wood that we've farmed up. And I'm hoping I'll figure that all out and have a really cool build to show you by the end of this episode. But right now, I want to announce something big that is taking place this weekend on Saturday. My Patreon server, which started with this series called Let's Play Minecraft Together over 6 years ago, it's being reset for its 4th season, known as LPM4. I will be live streaming this event, which takes place midday on Saturday, a group dragon fight to conclude the LPM3 season. We will then enter the 4th season, which will start off with a boss battle fight against a mob known as the Architect. You see, this is no regular Patreon server. We call it a Vanilla Plus experience, where there are custom boss battles, lore, and all sorts of other interesting things. So our 4th season of Let's Play Minecraft will include an incredible build at the world spawn put together by the community, the ability to obtain custom items like a creeper sword, as well as custom trophies for participating in community activities and completing challenges. We also have challenge vaults to unlock custom recipes, like one for the cobweb. And these vaults include all sorts of puzzles, challenges, mazes, mysteries, and even parkour. We also have resettable mining dimensions for gathering materials, and these will include new and custom structures. There's also a map art dimension for constructing maps inside of, and of course there are custom boss battles. So as a community, we've decided we would like more people to be a part of it, and therefore it's going to be easier to get access. But as of right now, how is a little bit of a secret, but if you would like to join the community for sure, then go check out the Patreon post linked in the description box below. Right, before we look at the astounding progress with the Mangrove tree farm, we are going to head over to the gaming district because a new game has popped up on the server and had an opportunity to play this a while ago. Hello!
Xisuma,
Pearl.
before we go in there,
Yeah.
can we look at this thing out here? It looks interesting, and I
Oh.
want to see if we can play like 2 little games of it.
Sure. Is it
Yeah, look.
rock, paper,
Did you
scissors?
see Cubs thing? Yeah. Have you played?
Oh, no, I've never played this
Look at
game.
it.
Whoa!
Yeah, neither have I. I was reading the book while you were coming over.
I saw this the other day and I was like, this is a cub build. You know?
It's a Cub build. Mm-hmm.
You play with other hermits for long enough, you just know their style after a while.
You want to give it a go? I'm sure
Yeah,
it
sure.
seems simple enough.
You know what I once heard of, like, some scientists figured out the best way to play this game?
Oh,
And I can't remember what it was.
what's that? Oh, thank you for the valued information there, Zima. That's lovely.
Well, I
to
wouldn't
know.
tell you
I'm
if I
glad we have a
remembered.
winning
I wanted to
strategy.
beat everyone. It's like my game's going to be rock, paper, scissors.
Well,
Like,
you're gonna have
Xisuma,
to
he's
look
so
it
good
up
at that
now
game.
so you can win.
Oh, I can't remember where I learned it.
Oh no!
Next time,
All right,
next
let's give it a go. Just a few games.
Do we go that side?
Yeah. Well, there's 2 sides. You gotta go over your side.
I don't know where I'm
This is
going.
my side. Don't you
Oh,
repeat it.
right. Okay. So,
Yeah.
like, we go to the
Wait,
corners
look
of this
at my hand.
building. Oh, yeah. Of course, we got to be separated. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Let's play then, shall we? Let's do it.
All right. I'm ready.
Okay. 3,
I choose
2, 1.
laser gun.
Flick it over. What is a
No.
laser gun? What does that mean?
That's-
Oh, we got to draw. We both had shields.
Oh, okay.
Look at the lights on the side. You see that?
Oh, on
Okay.
the side. Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. Right. Right.
Yeah. it
3, 2,
shows
1
what you
again?
get. All right. Yep. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yay!
Oh, you did rock. Oh wait, I need to also minimize your stream so I don't actually see what you're doing.
Oh,
I
you
wasn't looking
cheated
anyway,
and
but I was
lost.
like, it's
what? Pearl?
Oh man, that is a mega cheater. For I lose. I'm so good at cheating that I lose. Okay. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, bam.
Yes!
You,
Woo!
now, okay, you said you couldn't remember that strategy. I'm kind of thinking you remember that strategy now, huh?
I mean, I'm winging
Okay,
it, but
ready?
maybe I remember how it works. Here's the thing: I don't
Okay.
know what you guessed, right? Oh, or do I? Yeah,
Well,
no,
you
I would
because
because
it'll
I
tell
won.
you if you've lost or won. Yeah.
So, how does it work again? Doesn't scissors beat paper? So you chose paper,
Yeah, I chose paper. yeah.
right? Okay, yeah, got it. Okay, so I do sort of
Yeah.
know, right? All right, let's go again.
Okay, all right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh
Hey!
no!
Okay, there's rockets in the sky. That's cool. I
Oh, of
noticed
course
that.
there is. It's cub.
Nice. Of course. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, yay!
it!
Woo!
You're calling my bluff right now.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. All right. 3, 2, 1.
No!
Hey! There it is. So what did you choose? You chose scissors on that one. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Draw.
Oh,
Interesting.
draw.
Interesting.
Okay. How many of these do we do? 3 more? I don't know how many games we played.
Go on then. 3 more.
Okay.
3,
3,
2,
2, 1,
1.
go.
Yay!
Oh,
Woo!
I have a feeling someone's gonna win this, and it's not me.
What's the score? 4-2, and we've got 2 rounds left. You can do it. No, you can't. You can draw. I don't know. I'm bad with numbers.
Okay, well, No, yeah, I can draw. I can't win. I can draw. All right, 3, 2, 1,
One.
go.
Yes!
Oh, I've officially lost.
Oh, I don't even know how I did it.
Gosh.
I just
I'm
guessed.
failing at this today.
Should we play the
All
last
right.
round as well?
Might as well.
Go on
3, 2, 1, go.
Ah,
Oh
no
my
way!
gosh. Literally have a 2 in 3 chance of either winning or losing, or winning or drawing, and I always pick the wrong
maybe I
one.
did remember that thing about how to win this game. Maybe it's like in my subconscious.
Need a little sign in the barrel?
Ah, I see.
Name,
Okay.
the win, how many wins you got, and then any comments.
Sumo 1. What's the
One
additional
win.
comments? Pearl cheated.
Oh, yeah, I cheated. I lost doing it, apparently. Oh, gosh. I completely forgot I had your stream up in the background. I was like, oh, hang on, that's there.
So, rock, paper, scissors. I went and looked up that so-called strategy that I was talking about. It's actually more of a response to human psychology. So there was a study done on people playing rock, paper, scissors, and they observed some patterns in their behavior. So if you win a round, you are likely to stick and use that in the next one. So if you're playing rock, paper, scissors and you've just been beaten, you should assume that your opponent is going to stick with the same hand. So you should change your choice, right? The other part of the psychology is that when a player loses 2 times in a row, they are very likely to switch to the one that just beat them. So if that's a rock, for example, then on your next turn, you should pick paper. Anyway, feel free to give it a try and see if it actually helps you win. I am yet to do that. When I played that game against Pearl, I was just randomly picking stuff each and every time. Anyway, we've now arrived at the corner of this building, which wasn't here earlier. The building process for me, there's so much trial and error and figuring stuff out that I don't really know when and where to start talking about it. So now my approach is just like, let's have fun building, putting all the blocks in place, making it feel good, getting a vibe, getting a sense of structure. And then when it's all done, I'll show you the end result, right? Because this is the build right here. And we've walked through pretty much most of it, but there's multiple ways that you can see it. Like from outside, you can see the structure sort of follows on from here, but we switch up the materials a little bit, and then we got to hide this janky old box up the top here. And the thing that I haven't finished is the roof. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with that, but behind it, you'll notice that we got loads of dripstone coming around. So on the opposite side over here, I filled in this space with black stone, but decided to do it a different way around here because we had a lot of light reflecting onto the surface. And then this links up with the dripstone down here. So it looks really complete. I've also found the time to come up here and place in logs going all the way to the very back of the build, which you can't even see. And again, I've been removing more of those stone blocks, and it's just feeling more and more complete. I have really enjoyed myself here, but the best bit about it is the farm itself, which has been a resounding success. This farm is absolutely pumping out the mangrove wood. So as we head down here, you can see we've got a little entrance sorted out, and it actually takes us below the layer that we were standing at before. And here is proof of how good this is. I haven't done like crazy long AFK sessions. This is just like a few hours at a time, and all of these chests have been filling up. We've also been getting a ridiculous amount of propagules. This is one of the things we might want to address because I doubled up this system to make sure we always have enough. And I think what we might want to do now is make it so that one side always fires, but maybe the other side fires every other time. And there's a whole other bunch of little changes here and there, so let's go over them one by one. The blast chamber here was adjusted so that the TNT falls just above where this water was. It used to land on a ledge, but then sometimes the items up the top here would land on the ledge and get blown up. And you can see it's pretty fast, right? There's like 10 seconds between the blocks getting pushed out and blown up. This setup here has been tweaked slightly, so I stand a little further back because I realized we could just have this dispenser continuously powered by the clock that does the bone mill. So we've done away with that other redstone I had here to power it. And so any propagules that go into the dispenser then go into my inventory. As you can see, I've already accumulated a surplus. I adjusted the timing of the redstone over here so that we push out blocks more frequently, and it seems to be really good. And there's one other thing that I've done where we feed in bone meal through these hoppers. Around the back here, you're going to see that we have a chain of chests It also branches off and feeds the propagule farm. But these, they go a long way up here. It's kind of ridiculous. It's all full of bone meal for the farm. So this branches off the bone meal that we use to make dyes here. As you can see, it's this line of composters. Now, the issue is, in order to get to the same spot with a new line, I would kind of have to go around all of this big contraption right here and create another really long path full of hoppers. Because the way we work this system is that we have the bone meal silo here, and then we fork off different parts of it to different farms. But I just decided, rather than a ridiculously long chain going around, we'll just share it with the dyes for now. So that's the farm. I should also mention I love this floor. It's made out of moss, but also azalea bushes with some flowering ones there. Those two go together really well. And now, my friends, we have all the mangrove we need for future farming. One thing I don't think I'm going to do is make an auto-crafter for all the different types of woods. But who knows, because we sussed out how to do mangrove, and I've actually made some leaps and strides for the dark oak. And if I can figure that out, that's also pale oak as well. And we would be closing down on getting all of them done, which would be kind of amazing. And if I got to that anytime soon, I'd probably be quite tempted to do the auto-crafting too. Because then we could say we did it all. But we've done all that we're going to do for today's episode. What a link. What an amazing link. So yeah, if you were interested in LPM4, check out the link in the description box down below. Otherwise, that's it from me this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon with another. Bye-bye.